the top deals, signings, and trades made this free agency. That's what I will cover, people. Welcome to All Sports Talk. This is your host with the most, the NBA guru himself, that talks every day about nothing but all sports. Now, like I said, we will discuss the deals that have been made this offseason, this free agency of the NBA. But I'm going to rank them from the most overall player. We want the 99s, the 98s, 2K overall to go first. But I'm not going to mention all the signings and trades because there's some 50 overall players in here that I really don't want to mention. So we're just going to skip over them. Maybe we go down to 65 overall. That's what we're looking at today. But anyway, again, yesterday was July the 6th. That was the first day teams can officially sign the players that they traded for, such as a Chris Paul, or if you're a free agent and you sign, July 6th was the first day that you can sign the contract. Now, the first and the best signings of this all season, is it really a guess or can it really be debatable? That would be Stephen Curry deal. He made the biggest contract in NBA history. $201 million for 4 years. Excuse me, 5. Even better, the guy will make $40 million each year. Congratulations to the Curry family. This is a great organization he's with the Golden State Warriors, one of the best GMs that's always looking for better talent. You went 73-9. You acquire a Kevin Durant, the best second scoring leader. The Warriors is going to have a nice future. The second best deal, his teammate Kevin Durant agreed to a 2-year, $53 million deal, ultimately taking a pay cut, some may say up to $7 to $10 million Durant could have signed for more each year, making the total estimate amount that he could be making is 2 years of a $73 million deal. But he ultimately decided to decline that much money, the reason why he wanted the likes of Andre Iguodala to return. And then he wanted to acquire Nick Young, the third best catch and shooter in the league. Smart move for Kevin Durant. He's a champion now. Next year, the Cavs doesn't make any moves, man. It's looking like the Warriors is going to repeat. The third best move, Paul George, has been traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder officially for Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. Whatever how you say his name, leave it in the comment section below if I said it incorrectly. Then the fourth deal would be Chris Paul has been traded to the Houston Rockets earlier this week. Then his ex-teammate Blake Griffin has signed a 5-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. A little bit over $170 million if I'm Blake Griffin. I would be looking to go do a different team. I don't think the Clippers is going to get out the first round. That's how it's looking like. Even if they acquire Derrick Rose eventually, you're not making them past the first round in the Western Conference. It's just not happening. Maybe Blake Griffin wanted to stay in LA. It's a beautiful city, beautiful weather. And he got his max deal, so maybe that's what he'd ultimately decided to do. Hey, I don't know. And then after Blake Griffin, it was Gordon Hayward, officially signed to the Boston Celtics for a 4-year, $128 million deal. Congratulations to the Hayward family. Then Jeff Teague signed a 3-year, $57 million deal with Minnesota. Now, I was going to mention Jimmy Butler in this news. Of course, we all know Jimmy Butler was traded to the Timberwolves, the team that Jeff Teague now going to. But everybody knew the news of Jimmy Butler already. He already got traded during the draft. I wouldn't really say it was during free agency. But this video is going to go about 25 minutes if I don't speed up the process, people. After Jeff Teague, it was a Kyle Lowry signed to the Toronto Raptors for a $100 million deal, 3 years. So he's going to be making a little bit over $35 million a year. Excellent move, smart move. Congratulations to Kyle Lowry. He's still, to me, he's not an elite point guard. He's just there. He's a B plus point guard. With the A point guards in the league, such as John Wall, Kyrie, Curry, and the names goes on. I don't think Kyle Lowry is a part of that list. I think he's a B point guard. But hey, he gets the job done sometimes. After Kyle Lowry, Drew Holiday agrees to a 5-year deal, $126 million deals with the New Orleans Pelicans. Why is that a good move for the Pelicans? I don't know. Drew Holiday hasn't really produced for you over the years. He's not going to produce for you in the future with the Boogie Cousins and the Ant Davis. You're just going to be in the same predicament you was last year, but you decided you're going to max out this gentleman. I have no clue why. After Drew Holiday, we're going to skip the Paul Millsap. He signed with the Denver Nuggets a 3-year deal worth $90 million. He's going to be teamed up with Jokic. Maybe they can have a dynamic duo in the paint in the Denver. Deion Waiters signed to a 4-year deal, $52 million with the Miami Heat. He will join the ownership of Mickey Arison. He will stay with the ownership of Mickey Arison, the great owner he is over there in Miami. And the culture, he will stay with Pat Riley. Maybe Eric Spoelstra can coach those Miami Heat team up to a playoff berth. Maybe we see that this season. Who knows? Then after Deion Waiters, it would be Serge Ibaka, the ex-teammate of Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. He said he's going to stay with the Toronto Raptors. He signed a 3-year, $65 million deal. And again, people, these players are in order, but at the same time, they're not in order. So excuse me if one player down the line may sound better than the player I just mentioned. Who cares? After Serge Ibaka, Tim Hardaway reported yesterday he signed to the New York Knicks, the mecca of basketball, for $71 million for 4 years. Gallinari agreed to a 3-year, $65 million deal for the Los Angeles Clippers. Blake Griffin still has DeAndre Jordan. He now has Gallinari. But you still can't get past the first round in the West. Maybe the East, but damn sure not the West. Rudy Gay signs a 2-year, $17 million deal with the Spurs. Believe that's a little bit underpaid for Rudy Gay, especially what these guys is being paid now. Rudy Gay is still an official scorer. You got these guys making $10 million each year. Rudy Gay is not even making $10 million. JJ Redick agrees to a 1-year, $23 million deal with the 76ers. And that is exactly what I mean. $23 million for JJ Redick, a 6'4", 6'3", catch and shoot player who can just shoot the ball. He can take you off the dribble a little bit, but he's only 6'3", 6'4". He can't take you to the rim. He's just a shooter, and he makes $23 million a year. Andre Iguodala decided he was going to stay to the Warriors since Kevin Durant didn't sign it for that much. He agreed to a 3-year, $48 million deal with the Warriors. He deserves every single penny plus more. The Finals MVP of the Warriors' first championship. Some may say he was the damn well reason why they won the Game 5 of this year. Sean Livingston agreed to a 3-year, $24 million deal with the Golden State Warriors. Also, they're going to stay. Tony Snell agreed to a 4-year, $46 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. He will stay with the Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Jason Kidd's head coach, and Chris Middleton. Maybe they can get past the second round and meet LeBron James in the Eastern Conference. Patty Mills stayed with the San Antonio Spurs for a 3-year, $57 million deal. Patty Mills is a great player. I don't think he should be earning this much. It's a little bit too much if you're asking me for Patty Mills. He's only 5'11", 6 foot. We've seen what Klay Thompson did against Patty Mills, the Western Conference Finals. He completely threw him out of his rhythm. Patty Mills didn't look like the same player. I get Klay Thompson 6'7", but at the same time, Patty Mills was a non-factor when he was on the court. George Hills agrees to a 3-year, $57 million deal with the Kings. Why in the hell do you do that? If I'm the Kings, I'm scratching my head. You just signed a De'Aaron Fox, your elite point guard, that's going to be starting. You have a Harry Giles. Why would you sign another point guard for this amount of money? This just shows you that the Sacramento Kings ownership, their GM, is still one of the worst in the league. What are they doing? PJ Tucker decided he was going to move on from the Toronto Raptors and go to the Houston Rockets for 4 years for a $32 million deal. Patrick Patterson moves on from the Raptors also, signs a 3-year, $16.4 million deal with the OKC Thunder, meaning Paul George and Russell Westbrook is going to have some more help. Joe Ingles of the Utah Jazz signs a 4-year, $52 million deal. If you don't know who Joe Ingles is, don't worry, I didn't either, but this is my job. He's a guy who averages 7 points per game. You give me a goddamn Gatorade vicinity, I will have the players with the perfect pH of Gatorade, water. You can pay me that amount of money, I will contribute more to the Utah Jazz than Joe Ingles, and I won't even be on the court. The guy averages 7 points per goddamn game. I don't understand why the hell he should be making $52 million. Zach Randolph moves on from the Memphis Grizzlies. He's moving on. Number 50 will be eventually retired in the stands and in the arena. Nobody will be able to wear number 50 for the Memphis Grizzlies. Congratulations to Zach Randolph, but he's going to move on to the Kings for a $24 million deal. Darren Collison agreed to a 2-year, $20 million deal with the Pacers. Taj Gibson is also signed to a 2-year, $28 million deal with the Timberwolves, which will be looking very, very solid. Maybe Tom Tibb can basically embrace the defensive culture in the Timberwolves organization this year. He couldn't really do that last year, but he had Jimmy Butler. Andrew Wiggins can now get some breath off the bench. He can breathe now. Carl Anthony and Andrew Wiggins was the most played duo last season. Maybe those guys can get some rest with the help of Taj Gibson. And they're looking for CJ Miles. That was a rumor that the Timberwolves might acquire. But eventually they're gonna get some rest, man. Andrew Wiggins is gonna get some rest. Now they have Taj and Jimmy. Congratulations to them. Jimmy and Taj is very familiar with Tom Thibodeau, and they're familiar with themselves too. They're ex-teammates. So moving on from Taj Gibson, Ben McLemore agrees to a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. Again, most of these teams are testing out the waters with these players. That's why they're signing them to only 2-year deals. Kyle Korver is going to retire with the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's what I believe. He signed a 3-year deal. Kyle Korver is pretty old, man. He's about 36, going on 37. I don't think he's going to play after that 3 years, but he signed a $22 million deal, meaning he's going to get his money. His family's going to eat. He's going to be well-deserved, his money. He doesn't have to worry about financial stability. He's making $20 million in 3 years. David West, he signed with the Warriors, man. He's going to stay with the Warriors. He only signed a 1-year deal, but hey, he's going to stay with the Warriors, man. He's going to win them another ring. Congratulations to him. Nick Young, he's going to the Warriors also for a $5.2 million deal. Nick Young is already rich. He's already in Hollywood. We all seen the video of him telling Chris Brown he needs to get out of his neighborhood, that there can only be one black person. The jokes was on. But of course, he was just joking. Congratulations to Nick Young. He's going to be a champion next year also. Hey, it's the best move, man. If you're Nick Young or if you're a player that's on your decline and you want to win a championship, go to the Warriors. Easy. Andre Robinson, who can't even make a damn free throw, he's making $10 million a year. He signed a 3-year deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's going to stay there for $30 million. Why in the hell would you do this? And Andre Robinson can barely make a damn free throw. You have the opposite team laughing at him because he can't even make the rim, can't even shoot the ball on the rim. He airballs free throws. He can't even average over 12 points a game. He can't even damn well shoot the 3-ball, let alone shoot a mid-range pull-up. Why do you goddamn have him out there for? You can sign a defensive player on the free agency market. Amir Johnson agrees to a 1-year $1 million deal. Excuse me, he signs a 1-year $11 million deal with the 76ers. He's going to join Ben Simmons and those guys. Langston Galloway stays with the Detroit Pistons, a 3-year, $21 million deal. Jody Meeks. Most people forgot about Jody Meeks. The last time we seen Jody Meeks was on the Lakers with Dwight Howard and Steve Nash. That's a.k.a. Super Team. People thought that was going to happen. Jody Meeks is going to go to the Washington Wizards for 2 years on a $7 million deal. And Justin Holiday agrees to a 2-year, $9 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. And this last two, Jamal Crawford joined the Hawks. Houston's first-round pick and trade with the Clippers. And Vince Carter signs an $8 million deal worth 1 year with the Kings. The Kings is acquiring a lot of role players. Maybe they can switch this thing up. Maybe they can banish the stereotypes that ownership has been having the last years, telling DeMarcus Cousins he's not going to be traded before the All-Star game. There's absolutely no way he will be traded. And then right after the All-Star game, you trade him. You trade your star player, you lie straight to his damn face, and you just get rid of him. Again, people, this is All Sports Talk, your host with the most, the NBA guru himself, that talks every day about nothing but all sports. Leave it in the comment section below. Who's the best signings of this year's free agency? Right when I was finna end the video, there's some more talk coming out, man. I'm sorry, Shelvin Mack. He is going to be going to the Orlando Magic for a $12 million deal. He's going to get a little bit of money. Then point guard, or should I say ex-point guard for the Los Angeles Clippers, Raymond Felton, will join Russell Westbrook and Paul George in OKC. It's a good move for the OKC Thunder. They finally have a average backup point guard who can give you some scoring, maybe some ball handling, and some assists off the bench. Jamal Crawford, he was traded to the Hawks like we spoke before, but he wanted the buyout with the team, and that's what he got. The Atlanta Hawks ultimately bought out him the contract, so Jamal Crawford's a free agent. Some people say the Timberwolves are interested and the Cavaliers. Maybe they do something there. Jeff Green signed a $2.3 minimum deal to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Gonna join up with LeBron James and those fellas over there. Tyreke Evans, the guy's 6'6". He's been injury prone. Worse than Derrick Rose. He's going to sign a $3.2 million deal with the Grizzlies. And I think that's pretty much it, people. And the worst contract I'm going to say that I've just recently read off is going to be the Kelly Olynyk 4-year, $50 million deal to the Heat. Kelly Olynyk is a 7-foot center. You already have a Hassan Whiteside who's 7 foot. And you signed him to a max deal 2 years ago. This is All Sports Talk, people. Let's get this channel popping. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. I post daily videos. Let's get it cracking.